In the panorama you have just seen, from the east Penavan and Carrandee, twin crests of the glorious crown of the Brecknock Beatons, towering magnificently in serene beauty. From the west they further display a deep serenity and the gentle calm of gradual slope. And so as the camera swings to the east, we see Waun Wen, Mynydd y Glog, Mynydd Aberdare, and Mynydd Merthyr. In the west, there comes to view Forest Fawr, Garreg, Abwlch, Hirwaun Common, and clinging to the sides of the valley and clustering in lateral valleys are the villages of Penawain, Cwmdare, Abernant, Cwmbach, Cwmaman, and in the valley bottom, distant Abercwmboy. Encircling the town centre, combining to form the urban district of Aberdare, Queen of the Hills, Brenhines of Brunei. With easy entrance and exit, the funnel of the Neath Valley in the west, the Taff Bower in the northeast, and the valley of Cunnan and Taff reaching down to the waters of the Bristol Channel. The town takes its name from the small stream, the River Dare, which rises in Mynydd y Bwllfa at the foot of the Darren above Cwmdare. Here the river, leaving its mountain spring, is at its purest and most attractive. Leaving its first haunt of russet brown grass and underlying peat, it purls and whimpers along, sometimes having to surmount huge boulders left from the glasses of the Ice Age, along by stunted hawthorn, white thorn and dwarf oak, on and on, swifter and bigger, with each stage gaining in strength and growth, but still an active babe, herald of the larger stream it is to become. But Aberdare has not attained prominence mainly because of its natural beauty of mountain, river or valley. It was the wealth of the products from moorland and valley field which first provided wealth, and later the rocks of the earth. Here is the Bwllfa, the first sign of industry, founded in 1891, now merged into the greater NCB, of which it is called Area Number 4. Industry always depends on men. The products of the earth are got by the skill and work of man. And here we have a school for young miners. The recruitment of miners begins here with the trainees. This is the school at Aberdare. Here they go to attain skill, both in the practical side and in the theoretical side. What stalwart young men they are, ready to face the dangers of the bowels of the earth, as you and I may be sure of a fire. Furnace site. Here the once worthless small coal, which was accounted of no value, is now made into ovoids. This furnacite plant is the largest in Wales and ultimately will become the largest in the world. Here it is, belching forth its smoke at the foot of the lovely Dyffryn Woods, where the river and rail and road take up all the room of the outlet to the Aberdare Valley into Aberpenna, the division of the valley known as Mountain Ash. Here is scene of industry amongst rural surroundings. Here is the pit head with the river going along at its side. Coal, coal. Number 4, the great works, the great engineering sheds, where the equipment is such This is Middle Dufferin. I've got a Little Dufferin, where the river is murky, founded by Thomas Powell, who later sold out and to the Powell Dufferin Company, and so was founded the great Powell Dufferin Company, once very active in this part. Here, running along the side of the Ferrocite works are the means of transport, the railway, great cooling plant, so necessary for industry, utilizing water time after time in the process of turning coal into its various forms for use in industry and in domestic circles. And here is the great winding engine at the surface of the colliery, and the men underneath depending for their safety and their work on the amount of air pumped in by these great fans, which secures a fresh supply of good air. And the men ready to go down, coming from these modern installations of pithead baths and changing rooms, where every convenience before going down with their lamps lit, ready to go down into the bowels of the earth to get coal, always coal. But coal is not the only. There are others. Here we have other industries rapidly rising to importance. Here we have men loading the products of one of the modern factories. Yes, something very carefully, which tells them that they must be handled carefully. This side up. These are the radio sets, and from the firm of Sobel, founded at the trading estate at Rigos, near Aberdare. The new industry sprung up on the site of the ordnance factory, the Herwain Aberdare Trading Estate. From England, like Sobel, Fisco, these people producing fertilizers, the Murphy radio firm of Letchworth with a subsidiary at Aberdare, the Dunlop bringing the latex from far away Malaya in tankers to Swansea, where it is transferred to lorry tanks and then brought and stored in these huge storage tanks recently erected in Hirwine. And the latex foam then made into products such as Dunlop pillow beds, elastic yarn and lactron thread. The Dunlop works, ever expanding. Concrete utilities with modern lighting, the streets lighted up by night to make them look as if it were always day. These products, Arts Limited, another smaller firm, Perma Cameras, originally from Germany, also finding a place in the trading estate, and Halliwell's right up to modern times with their aircraft equipment made in their factory at Robertstown. Here we have a more specialized form of cyanamide, the Ledley laboratories, firms specializing in antibiotics. Here come the girls who work at these highly specialized processes, leaving the canteen after their midday meal. In long meandering line they come, ready to return to their benches and work, giving of their utmost skill of this very necessary chemical which is used increasingly in modern times. There they go. Yes, leisurely. Here are the laboratories. where skilled chemists and technicians start on the processes of manufacturing these antibiotics, specializing in the wonder drug aureomycin. Every care must be taken that each process is complete in itself. Here we have the control rooms working. No risks are taken. The most stringent hygienic conditions are followed, for nothing must happen. Great, wonderful machinery doing highly specialized work, and yet have to be watched and fed by human hands. Another machine passing along cartons more rapidly than man, never failing, but still dependent upon the human hand and human skill for its maintenance. Here are the chambers. The drugs are used inside a sterilized chamber, and these women are working the processes from the outside so that no contamination may enter into the product. Here is another worker working outside one of the chambers. Here are two women again at work, manipulating from outside. How clever and skillful their hands must be. Here are great chambers watched by an engineer under great pressure. Out come the files, ready to follow another stage. Here are the girls working with the cartons, putting the files into the cartons and then passing them along, never-ending belt. Here are the capsule. Here is the drug in capsule form, weighed and measured. There are the files passed up for their packing, before being placed into the cartons. How intent they are on their work. Here is another highly specialized machine sealing the carton, more efficient, quicker than any human hand. There they go now, containers, to the skillful hands of the girls, sorting, passing, ready for ultimate package. But one of the first new industries to be established was the Aberdare cables, and so successful was this venture that a flourishing offshoot now functions in Port Elizabeth of South Africa. These modern buildings in steel, concrete and glass stand on a site covering about 30 acres. Coils of copper rod are first joined by welding to form a continuous length of rod. Here are the great overhead cranes carrying coils. Here is the great armoring head and closing die, illustrating the accurate positioning of galvanized steel wires. Here are the impregnating vessels, the modern closed plant, impregnation of paper, insulated cable. And this here are the drums ready for the winding, and then they are placed in to remove all signs of oxidization. Here is the control panel of the impregnating room, the great giant pumps, central pump room, also necessary for the making of the cable. Here are the great drums with the coils of cable inside, ready to be sent to all parts of the world. The great blue drums are known all over the world. Running alongside is the first means of transport, the railway, and the trains coming in to the busy station are here at the end of the day, after work, home. Here are workers leaving the high-level station and rushing along, wondering, yes, whether there will be room on the bus, trying to avoid the dreary wait for the next. Not all. Some walk more leisurely. They're in no hurry, but the majority, home, is the first consideration. Thousands use this means of coming and going from work every day. Last of the workers. Back to the river. We haven't yet left the River Dare. Here it is, a much more active stream now, on its way down to its junction with the River Cannon, for it enters the Cannon in the heart of the town. It becomes more placid and calm as it comes to the Coombe, a forgotten beauty spot, probably because it is so near, within easy reach of the town centre. Here it goes in the sunshine. Here is the bridge over the Coombe, peaceful, sylvan setting. Here is the Coombe Bridge, with the pool underneath, and the row of houses, now unfortunately derelict. Ah, there is the eternal boy looking for diddlers. No luck. Or perhaps this side. Who knows? On goes the river on its way, through its valley of the Coombe, passing by the new housing estate of Tivry, built on a shelf on the valley side, the latest addition to Aberdare's housing for the people. Down on its way, passing the Gadless Pit, once active but now used in case of emergency, with St. Elvan's spire standing out, pointing with silent finger to the sky. Quiet pool, Silur, which we all connect with the venerable Cillin, the Reverend Cillin Evans, so well beloved, past the parish church of St. John, too small for the rapidly growing industrial town's population, and supplanted by St. Elvan's with its graceful spire. Now the town church. Many prominent clergy of the Church of England rendered service in this church in the days of growth of Aberdare. Monk Street, leading from the town, the oldest road, the great medieval way from past Drow to the monastery at Penrys. Busy commercial centre with its shops up to Victoria Square. Here Caradoc, Griffith Jones, who led the Corps Mawr in 1872 to victory, bringing back the great trophy from the great Eisteddfod at Crystal Palace. Cardiff Street, another wide shopping centre. The National Schools, the first of schools in the district, founded by the National Society of the Church of England. Fine broad street, commercial street. Here on the square is the Eisteddfod office, the scene of much activity. The first library in the district, founded here with aid from the Andrew Carnegie Trust. Hendecourt, the centre of Unitarianism. 4 of its ministers find place in the Dictionary of National Biography. The county school, the great need for secondary education, with aid from the first Lord Aberdare, this school founded, the clock being a great feature in the town, a gift from the first Lord Ronda, D.A. Thomas, who at one time was resident at the nearby house of Esquivawen. So rapid was the increase in numbers for secondary education that a grammar school for girls, known first of all as the county school for girls, was built on the Kumbach Road. It is now too small for the numbers that wish to use it. Here is a school of common, the infant department, the first school, non-conformist school in the area, the infant school, the boys and the girls department, that great old building, so out of date and yet so well up with the times, nurturing the young, guiding them, instructing and educating them in readiness for their part in the future. And as we pass on to the needs of youth, here is the latest addition to the scholastic facilities, the College of Further Education, where technical and commercial courses take precedence, a most fitting arrangement to make for the ever-growing needs of commerce in a prosperous industrial region. Great, spacious windows giving light and air, the most modernly equipped gymnasium, and all of this is administered from this centre, the Divisional Executive Officer's office in the rock grounds, and the town is administered in larger part from the town hall. The bottom end of commercial street of the railway, and rather an obstruction at times passing at the bottom, Market Street, which takes its place from the market, which has always been situated in this area. Little theatre, Aberdare, founded in 1931, where the famous amateur dramatic society, the Trecannon Amateur Dramatic Society, finds its home. And the Aberdare Institute, Hall and Institute, built by the workmen, one of many to be found in many parts of the valley. Aberdare, the plough, a reminder of the agricultural days, the way in from the south and from the lateral valleys of Cumaman, broad streets. One of the most flourishing modern institutions is the creamery, publicly owned, where millions of gallons of milk are brought in annually from the counties, adjoining agricultural counties, and processed and pasteurized. There goes an 8-wheeler off to Breckenshire or Carmarthenshire to gather in your milk supply. And one of the things that the town is most proud of, and justifiably so, is the beautiful public park, lying at the foot of the Graig, with its fountain, a gift from the first Lord Merthyr, and its boating pond, which enthusiasts use every morning before a certain hour for their morning dip. Here come the hardy annuals, but here this is more for the softer ones. The great swimming pool in the centre of the town. Here they go. Now hurry up, you two. Yes, not quite ready. Here they go, down. Up they come. St. Pagan's Church, Trecannon, connected with the name of the Earls of Plymouth, the Windsor Clive family, and we are back to the river again. And at the side now of the Cannon, we come to the modern factory of Hoovers, where their great washing machines are assembled. But alongside of this river, where probably your washing machine first saw light, is the peaceful River Cannon, ever flowing peacefully along under its bridge. Here is the Colosseum, the centre of much cultural activity, owned by the Miners' Welfare. There it is, a closer view, where concerts of all kinds and dramatic performances are held, and the Youth Eisteddfod, the annual Youth Eisteddfod. Here are some of the competitors at last year's Eisteddfod, and what a wonderful wealth of service is rendered to youth here by these willing helpers. who run this very successful annual event. But youth ever yearns for adventure and danger. I still Aberdare too quiet. Motorcycling, racing, this attracts youth. And on this track in the park, young Surtees, steadily climbing to the front rank of track riders, has gained much useful experience on this course. This annual event attracts tens of thousands of people every year. In fact, it is held now more than once a year. It's becoming a regular feature. Here they go. Here they come, one after the other. But sometimes the gentler arts take their place. In the entertainment, here is the Welsh Guards Band from London. And further down the valley in Caerdrawnant are the girls doing Eurythmic dances at the Mabul Gampai. Welsh youth displaying its zeal for a healthy body so that it might contain a healthy mind. Here are the PT exercises and display. Over, good. Increasing in difficulty. Here comes the double. Yes. Up. Good. Now here come the bastard racing.